Alright. So, yeah. Okay. Uh, some might find it surprising how young I am that I listen to Whitechapel and Chelsea Grin and just recently got into um, Angel Maker. And I just started listening to a new band that just popped up recently called For the Forgotten, which I think you guys might like. I don't know what your guys' tastes are, but uh, let me just begin with how I started this whole mess. It all started 2011 or 2012 when I was about 11 or 12. I'm sorry, I keep looking out the window because I have to distract myself. Uh, my big brother from England came over and we were listening to music on a laptop. And one song popped up, and that was Riot by 3 Days Grace. And I was like, oh, I like this. And my other brother, who's younger than the one from England, he said, "Okay, I'll give you the band, just the whole band." There was nothing, um, there was nothing to be afraid of, but there really wasn't. So I started listening to 3 Days Grace, and then technically this is where it all started. Then it went from 3 Days Grace to Breaking Benjamin, which then got me to Skillet, which then got me to Stone Sour, I think. No. First it got me to Hollywood and Dead. Then it got me to Stone Sour. And then I was chilled after that for a while. And then it got me. I don't know where it got me. It got me quite far, I guess. It got me to the point of. Where was it? It was in. It was a year or two ago. I was given. While I was in 3 Days Grace and Skillet and Breaking Benjamin, I started listening to. I had a few songs of Pretty Reckless and Bastille, so I was still a bit calm. But then I started listening, but like a year or 2 years ago, I started listening to New Year's Day, which I absolutely loved. And then I started listening to Flyleaf and Papa Roach and then Slipknot, and then Disturbed was I had like four songs where I started listening to. Uh, After starting listening to Skillet, I had like four Disturbed songs, and then one day I went to my brother and said, "Oh, someone said I must listen to this song," so I listened to it. Like, I was like, "Okay, can you give me this song?" So my brother gave me the song, but he didn't actually give me just one song. He erased all my Disturbed and put in all of his Disturbed, which was every album that he had, which was Indestructible, uh, The Sickness, Asylum, 10,000. Oh, it was just amazing. And then Lost Children has to be by far my third album. Yeah, and then and then I don't. It was December, just recently. December when I was riding my bike and I had my 3 Days Grace shirt on, and I met a friend. Um, she she was into like metalcore and deathcore, but I didn't like that stuff yet because I was like, oh no, it's just noise. And then my friend, she's just amazing. Her name's Ashley, and she is just amazing. I don't know how to describe her, but she's just amazing in many ways. So she kind of, she sort of started this mess just a little bit, but I'm really glad she did. Otherwise, then I wouldn't be able to be an idiot to Chelsea Grin on Twitter. So Yeah, it's it's really hard to. So I'm just gonna my brothers. I have to thank them the most for starting this whole mess. But then my mom. Well, my mom's side of the family, we have a rocking history, so to speak. We have a family that just is followed by rock and roll and some, yeah, just like rock and roll and some of the old classics really, because every Sunday we would listen to uh, Solid Gold continuously, and then we would play this game is guess that song, guess that artist. It's just, and then my uncle and aunt are just deep in love with Led Zeppelin. I don't have anything against it. It's just not my thing. But I also started listening to, like last year. I made a friend. His name was G. He's Russian and he's very cool. His English is not like that. It's weird. But he left school at the end of the year, so I was left in my school alone. So I still sort of don't fit in. But oh god, oh yeah. Before getting into this, I also started. I got into Seven Dust, not recently, but about a month or a few months before the album came out. I don't know the name of the new album. I just know the cover, and it was reported as being too much teen angst. But I was going through a breakup at the time, and yeah, Black Out the Sun by Seven, the album. The song Decay. Oh, I still remember it so vividly. It got me through a breakup, which thank God I actually finally got out of. But I didn't dump her; she dumped me. But it was very heart wrenching. So it was just so. Anyway, so back on topic. On this in December of 2015, which was just recently, a friend Ashley, she said, "Okay, listen to this uh, song." I'm sorry, I'm tearing up here. Uh, Listen to this while I was at my dad's. I used my dad's Wi-Fi. She was like, "Okay, listen to this song, which is Puppets by Motionless in White." But then I liked it, so I was like, okay, I like it. So I put it on my list for what songs to get. And then I looked up lyrics for a song my brother played up where it's Capture the Crowd, but I didn't know it at that time. So the only lyrics I sort of knew were face down, arse up. That's the way you like to fuck. And I just loved it. I don't know why, just so catchy. But then, okay. But then, but then I started listening to that, and then she said, "Okay, listen to Immaculate Misconception by Emotionless One." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool," and I absolutely loved it because of the messages. And then I realized that metalcore is not just about noise and the instruments; it's about the messages hidden inside the song. Like I just recently found out because I wasn't doing too much digging on songs and all this stuff. I just recently found out. Sorry, you can't see me move my hands like because if you don't want to talk. But I just found out that the album Creatures, I think, was about Chris Motionless breaking up with a girl or coming out of a breakup, and I was like, I can relate this to this so much more now. So then I did, and but after that I got into, okay, I'm just gonna say this. It was Motionless in White and Capture Crown. They were my first metalcore bands. I will remember this forever. They are just my oh shit. They're just my first loves so much. I just love them so much. Chris Motionless just is so cool, especially when I watched him on 25 Questions on Impericon. But uh, um, but then it was Kill Switch Engage, which I absolutely loved. And then I still do, but my computer broke, so I don't have anywhere to store it or So then I don't have any Killswitch Engage or Devil You Know or any of that stuff, which I absolutely still love. I just can't listen to it anymore. But then my, Ashley said, "Okay, send me some songs, and I'll send you some. But I've got some Whitechapel." So I'm like, "No, I don't want Whitechapel." Because I didn't like that kind of music at all. I liked metalcore, and that was like my pit stop right there. And then she was like, okay. And so I was like, so I said, okay, have you got Bullet by Hollywood and Dead? And she said, no, I don't have that. So then we had a little discussion, and then I was like, damn it, just give it. And then she gave me it. She gave me some of Our Endless War, and I loved it. I didn't know why I didn't listen to it earlier. But I am nearly 16 now, and oh god, it's just such amazing. It's just so amazing. But then I was browsing YouTube one day, and I was just new to deathcore and metalcore. I was browsing YouTube one day, and I came across recommended videos, which I don't know if it was reading my mind or something, but Recreant by no, I asked my no, this is not how it started. I asked my brother if he could send me a song that I might like by Chelsea Grin, which he did, which was Lilith, and I absolutely loved it. But then after a while, it just kept it got repetitive, and then it was just. But listening to Korn after a while, I found out that things get repetitive. Oh yeah, I started listening to Korn. I'm leaving so many things out. I'm sorry. I started listening to Korn before I got into Korn and Slipknot before I started listening to Motionless in White. But Slipknot wasn't as heavy as I would put it next to Motionless in White because you can still hear what Corey Taylor is singing. Because one of my favorite lines from Slipknot is from Custer, which is from the XIX album, and I absolutely loved it because he says, "I've been saying this for years, but you don't comprehend it. I find hell and I find fear because I understand it." And then I was just like, "Oh, this is so beautiful." And I absolutely loved every single song after that. But then my brother gave me Lilith. So this was a few months ago, which is like January sometime, January, February, I can't remember. But then, and then I was like, okay. So then I started browsing YouTube, and I was looking up music videos by Whitechapel. But then I only got to listen to Let Me Burn, which is at that time my favorite song. And then I started browsing YouTube, and then Recreant by Chelsea Grin popped up on my recommended videos, and I was like, oh, let me see if I got this. And the beginning was just, it was so entrancing. I was just there like, what is this? What is this? Let me have it. And then I got it, and then I was just there to my brother after I downloaded it. No, my brother was, no, I was home. I was home alone, so I was, I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. But then I downloaded Clockwork, Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and yeah, I downloaded Recreant, Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I had Lilith. I got Recreant, and then I got what is the other one? Then I got Angels Shall Sing, Demons Shall Pray. No, that's only when my brother gave it to me. But then I got Skin Deep, and I was like, oh, and I thought it was a bonus song from Ashes to Ashes, and I was like, oh, okay, because I looked up the albums and stuff. So, so then Recreant started this whole mess of me getting more Whitechapel and more Chelsea Grin. So I got almost every single album. But I have to apologize if Chelsea Grin's watching this, or anyone in the band is watching this, that My Damnation has to be an album that I will not listen to, because I didn't like it that much, so I just deleted it. And then I said to my brother, okay, wait, let me give it one more try. And he said, no, no, just don't listen to it. So I was like, okay. But he has like 100 deathcore bands, 100 metalcore. He has thousands of metal songs. He has about 50 classic songs, but like thousands upon thousands of metalcore, deathcore, you name it. Rap, rapcore. Not really much into the like lower stuff like R&B, hip hop, pop, house. Got some dubstep, but that's about it. So then last yesterday, which was the 8th. I don't know when you guys are watching this because it's the 9th of May for me, and it's close to 3:30 in the afternoon. But I live in South Africa, so I'm in a school where I'm the only, like literally, the only person who listens to metal, and I stand out because I during breaks I can't put my phone on and listen to my music because everyone shouts to put it off, but I don't want to put in my earphones because then I might not hear them shouting for that a teacher's coming. So I just put my phone off and put it back in my blazer pocket. So I just recently got back from school, so I just took off my clothes and put something comfortable on, like this vest, because it's winter, but it's quite hot today. It wasn't hot earlier, but I'm at home, so then yeah, last night I started listening to. I was still browsing, but then I remembered that For the Forgotten followed me on Twitter. And I was like, this is a band. They're from England. Cool. From Birmingham. So I was kind of like, wow, it's a band following me. I don't really care. But then I was like, okay, so I followed back. And then the only reason I followed back was because their logo, their logo reminded me so much of Chelsea, no, not Chelsea Group, of Capture the Crown. And I even sent them a message saying, I like your logo because it reminds me of Capture the Crown, and they responded saying, thanks. So then I even went onto YouTube and looked for their debut song, which they only have one of right now, called forgot what it's called. But then I was after that I'm just looking for the name. I think it's called Reborn. But Reborn by the Forgotten, you might want for the Forgotten. You guys, I think you might like it because it's so cool. But hold on, it's I even asked them to send me the lyrics after. Yeah, it's Reborn. But I even asked them to send me the lyrics, which they did, and it's absolutely and just beautiful. And then I was also going through YouTube and looking for Scott Rudd, who did the Skin Deep lyric video for Tulsi Grin. And I was just like, oh, this is so cool. So I looked up his name, and Leech by okay, Leech by Angel Maker popped up, and I was like, okay, never heard of Angel Maker, so let me give it a try. So I did, and I was just sitting there like, oh god, this song is just so cool. And I just today after school I just kept listening to it over and over and over. And then along with Slaves by the Browning, which I also just recently got. And I just love these songs because the message I got from Slaves is talking about how corrupt the government system is in America, and that you should fight for what you believe in. And I was like, yes, you should fight for what you believe in. And then I just it's hard to explain, but now it was a change of plan today because I was planning to make a music video, not a music video, but a video because of I was gonna headbang. I'm not very good at headbanging that much, but my brother is absolutely insane when it comes to it. But my I was gonna headbang to Judgment, But then I realized I could do another song because I want to start off small. I want to start off. I don't know where to start off, so I'm just gonna. I don't know. I just did stuff. So now here I am making this video, but I don't know who's gonna watch this. But if you do, if you are or whatever, then I would highly suggest For the Forgotten, The Browning, Angel Maker, and if you haven't heard of any other bands, I would suggest, because I don't really listen to these bands, but I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna try find some songs that I can kind of entertain myself with. But Boris the Blade, and I don't know if you guys like Dead by April, but I only have one album, but they're not that bad. So I'm gonna be going now. So this is Frangel, which is who I am. Signing out now. So I'll see you guys around.